Ever wondered what it's like to be in business with 9 other women? Today, we are interviewing one of the 9 owners of the guest house, the most charming little inn in my charming town of Excelsior. We're so excited to learn all the ins and outs of what it looks like investing with 9 other women, making decisions, avoiding pitfalls, and all the things. Let's do this.
You're listening to the Girl Get Your Face Off a Bus Bench podcast, where we invite you to check your ego at the app, grab a cup of coffee, and get ready to dive into all things real estate marketing, social media, friendship, hardship, love, money mindset, and all the things that celebrate you as a badass boss babe.
We're here to encourage you, show up for you, give you a loving kick in the pants when you need it most, and be your soft place to land on the hardest of days. So pull up a seat at our table and get ready to be inspired and start living your best life by design.
Welcome to the Girl Get Your Face Off a Bus Bench podcast. We are so excited you're here.
Okay, girls, let's dive in. We are so excited today. Christy and I get the pleasure of interviewing Jennifer Dierkhising. She is one of 9 women owners of the most adorable bed and breakfast called the Guest House in downtown Excelsior. Yes. And I'm so excited you're here. I want to know all about what it's like working with 9 women. We want to know all the things.
All the things.
Yeah.
Well, you have me.
Yeah. Awesome. So I live in Excelsior, and just driving through town, I saw that there was new ownership. And then I started Googling because I'm that's what you do. You go to the old Google and the World Wide Web, and I'm 9 women. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome.
When the new sign went up?
No, I think it was before that.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
For sale.
Maybe it was just even word on the street. Mm-hmm. Some of my friends own the interior design studio Union Place. So I got some intel from Maud.
Yeah.
And so I'm and then you guys have a video, or, you guys have a show out of it. Yes. And then I'm just this is really inspiring. So I had been talking to Christy. I'm we need to get you gals here. And we're so grateful you're here.
Thank you.
Chit chat with us today.
I'm so glad to be here because your podcast is very inspiring. I love the platform that you have to really reach women and all business owners to kind of support each other. And
good.
We provide great content.
We hope it's doing what we want it to do.
We love it so much. So, Jennifer, why don't you tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, what got you here, all that good stuff.
Okay. So, I actually live in Blaine, Minnesota. So, I'm not near Excelsior.
I would have thought you girls all lived down the street.
Right down the street in our little backyard. No, it's we're kind of from all around the Twin Cities, a lot up in kind of the northern suburbs, but we have a mutual friend that lives near Excelsior and is in real estate. And so she found that this property went live, and she was I have to have this. And I think that my lady friends are going to want to do this.
They're crazy enough to get on board with my dream.
I think I have some crazy friends that will do this,
this is so cool.
crazy project with me.
I love it.
So Kelly Olson, she lives in Mound, actually, on the lake, but her history is in real estate development. So she's always got her eye on the market. This property came up, and we are both happen to be in a women's business group that's really just female business owners, again, that get together to support each other, to inspire each other, kind of coach each other, lift each other up, and just what do you need right now in your business? And we're business owners from kind of all areas, all venues. So she pitched that to us, and was because we're all, as you get that little entrepreneurial spirit, it's kind of contagious. And then you're I want more.
Yeah.
So I want to do that again. So she brought this opportunity to us, and I fell in love with it right away. It was at a terrible time for me, business-wise and personal, just a lot going on. Yeah. And I was girl, okay, this is a terrible time, but I want in. How can I do this and not kill myself?
It's hard to master plan a perfect timing, though.
You can't. Yep. Yeah. No, that's not necessarily how it happens, but this was beautiful.
So how do you guys all know each other? So there's 9 of you. You're all women.
Yeah.
How do you know each other? How,
So every one of us was part of this business group.
Okay.
And that's
Give
kind
them
of
a
how
plug.
we...
Like, what's the business?
Power of She.
I love that.
It's called Power of She. And really we just, we gather on a monthly basis for events and some sort of like what we can maybe learn that. Sometimes we highlight a business. Sometimes it's just like, what do we need right now in our business or in our life to do better?
How long have you women known each other?
Well, Kelly and I went to high school together.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was good friends with my husband.
Just a couple of years.
Right. Yeah. A couple of years. It's only been a few. And then, a few of us have been good friends ever since. A few of us don't know each other very well at all. Now we've gotten to know each other, but that was our center of influence, or how we knew each other, was the Power of She.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So where did the idea come from?
Yeah. So Kelly found this property, and she saw it was a bed and breakfast, right? But she's like, I really would like to buy this and renovate it because it's such a beautiful historic property.
Yeah.
But she just saw a lot of potential in it.
It was underwhelming.
A little bit, right?
Yeah.
Right, a little bit. And it's still people loved it. People were always coming to stay.
Yeah.
But it has so much potential. So
just that fresh coat of paint on outside was like,
wow. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Hail Navy is what we painted it. But
it's such a good color. It's so pretty.
It's beautiful. Thank you. It's beautiful. So she just wanted to, her brainchild was the renovation part of it.
Okay.
So a lot of us were like, absolutely, we want in on a retreat home, a retreat mansion here in Excelsior for like a staycation for people in Minnesota, something really close to the water. That was my kind of where my heart was at. I have another Airbnb property, and I wanted to be able to share the beauty of Excelsior in Minnesota with others. And this would be the platform to do it, and in such a grand way. So it houses 23 people, right? 9 bedrooms, I think we have total.
Okay.
And so what a great way to get a gathering space. But Kelly's vision was like, we're going to renovate this thing and we're going to do it on TV. So we have Miss INNdependent was the show. You alluded to that earlier.
Yeah.
Miss INN.
Oh, I love it.
Miss
That's
INNdependent.
So cute.
Aired earlier this year in May and June.
What platform was it on?
It was on Channel 5, KSTP.
Okay. So I feel like I watched some of them like online.
Yeah. And you,
like,
you had to. So we are now kind of packaging it and seeing like if we can get like a streaming service to
or something
pick
fun.
it up. Yep.
Cool.
It'll be
so fun. Let us know because we will definitely share that.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Love
Thank
that.
you. Yeah. They'll and they will air it again next year. KSTP will, but.
That's so fun.
So that was really fun to see renovating things, and it sounds like a great idea. And then you get into it and there's
It's a lot
just
of work.
Always more.
The one episode I saw was a couple of you girls like in the garage cracking open some cocktails, and I'm like, these are girls that I could be friends with.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I like playing hooky from
There was a
painting
lot
and
of-
drinking in the garage.
A lot of wine consumed after those
love it.
projects.
We live in a 1,500 square foot 1909 home, and it's terrifying and amazing and exhausting. I cannot even imagine at that level, like what like you open a wall and you're like, why? Why did I do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to see the bathroom episode because that's exactly what happened. We had this idea and then you break open the wall and the floors were not at the same level and it was just a whole can of worms, but we figured it out and it's beautiful. So now we get to host.
Well, so in my experience, like being in real estate and investing in real estate, it's such a male dominated world. But I find this so exciting. Like share the process of the startup. So Kelly comes to everyone, you guys all jump on board. And then where did you guys go from there?
Yeah. So, we were able to get, a loan to purchase the home. And then we financed the renovation on our own, but then now we will refinance to recoup some of those, right? So some of that. So I know a lot of questions are always around money, right? Like how do you do this without breaking your own bank?
Right.
And banks really do want to support women We've
Just so encouraging to hear.
Yeah. And they honestly, we found some banks too that they would never be able to say this, but they want to support the women. Like they will go out of their way or make sure or to help you as a female business owner.
That's awesome.
Right. I mean, we just, and we need that. We're, women have a lot on their plate. So, we really like to see that. So this project, we were able to finance it that way. But then the 9 of us, we're all at different percentage of ownership. So we're not split evenly, which is, I think, has actually helped a lot.
Probably for decision making, it feels like that would
It
help.
has been really nice. Yeah, because then it allows some of the owners to say, I maybe have an opinion on this, but is my opinion worth the piece of ownership that I have? And maybe I will defer this to the majority owners in this case. A lot of we are a very eclectic group of women. We are not all in real estate. We're in all different genres.
Tell us what fields everybody's in.
So we have some real estate, right? We have some designers. We have some finance, attorney, nonprofit, politics, insurance, kind of stay-at-home mom.
So it is everything.
It's a big mix.
Yeah. Wow. And previous experiences in different things and business owners. So they are very good. We are all very good at leaning into our strengths, right? Using our strengths, but then deferring out, asking for advice, right? Asking for advice when we need it. That's super important. And then allowing others to say, she's going to make a good decision here. I may think I have an opinion, but is my opinion, do I know maybe as much as, has she had more experience than I do? Or am I going to allow the others to make a decision here because I'm not 100% or even 70% sure on my opinion?
Yeah.
We've been really good about that.
That gives me goosebumps, really, because to think about 9 women supporting each other in that way when financially you have invested into this and like the trust that goes with that is just incredible. Like what a unique group of humans. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. There's so many sayings that we could talk about, so many like analogies, but the really having other women, there's something about having women that stand up for you or support you, right? That is extremely, extremely important. And is not always the case, but we're getting there.
I love it. Well, I heard you guys have like the highest recorded sales price for a bed and breakfast in the state of Minnesota.
Leave it to us to pick out the most expensive property to buy.
You probably like location wise, the location is very, that drives what the sales price was.
I was okay with the price, especially based on
and it's a big property.
Yep. It is an amazing location. It's not on the lake, but it is on Water Street and a great property.
You can see the water if you stand in the middle of the street.
Yeah, you can right there. And we have a little rooftop terrace, so you can see right down Water Street. It's really pretty.
You need to go on a field trip and go down there.
Let's go. I was just down there last week.
Can you ever just go and like tour is it open for like
we haven't we would like to do that. We talked about doing like high tea in the garden.
Oh my gosh, that would be fun.
Right?
We're signing
spring
up. Right?
next year. We're on board.
So we, right now we're really focused on like bookings, getting guests there, and like kind of figuring out like what do people want. So who is coming? Who wants to be at the guest house? What are they there for? And how do where are we going to kind of fall into? I'll tell you, here's what I want for the guest house, but I don't know that this is what guests will want. My dream is for retreats to be there. So I want to see women gathering together. There is something magical that happens when we just can be in a room together and for an extended period of time. Not an hour for happy hour, not 2 hours over dinner, not like a couple hours to do a scrapbooking project or whatever, yoga, but like overnight, sharing coffee in the morning, having an extended time. That gathering is just really good for us, everybody.
It's awesome. I love that.
And I think women need to do it more. Women especially need to do it more. We all know that like community is that's how we grow old, right? The what is it? The blue areas,
The blue zones.
the blue zones,
Yeah.
they are with community all the time.
Yes.
And as a mom, there are definitely times where I'm like, I need some alone time. Like, I don't need any community.
I'm with you.
I have all the community I need. I need to be everybody to leave me alone. But the gathering with women. So that's what I would really like to see over all the
Sounds
things.
so special.
Right? It could be book club. It could be cooking club. It could be yoga. It could be meditation. It could be like you're gathering whatever it is that tickles your fancy that you want to gather around. That's what I want to see there.
I love that.
I love it. What a beautiful place to do it too.
Yeah.
So cool.
I really love how you go deep into my community. Like that makes me really happy how you guys are really like supporting local. Like, you know, on your Instagram page, you're talking about like, if you come stay here, go to trivia on Thursday night at Suburban and check out their pizzas. We have so many treasures here that
You do.
if you live in Woodbury, you have no idea what's going on over here.
You do. You have Excelsior is so cool. Like that Water Street and all of downtown. There is every restaurant is so good. The food's so good. And you have everything. You have wineries, you have a little brewery, you have the
you have
art
everything
stores.
you can want.
I mean, you could really, and that's what kind of I geek out around, like being able to host a fun experience and sharing with people like the beauty of one tiny little town.
And it's literally like
get-
one little street.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. And
Could
you
keep
could
you
do
busy for several days.
Yep.
Well, the secret's out now, you guys. Like,
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. No, we want to tell people, but we don't want to tell people. We don't want it ruined.
You're never going to be able to get into the spa again if all the people
Right?
are coming into the spa.
Was this always part of the plan to like be really like ingrained in the community and to go deep on like...
Yes, Kelly, again, so I keep mentioning Kelly, but she was one that brought this property to us,
brainchild?
right?
Yeah.
Yes. So she really likes, building the community. It's kind of, and all of us have really been all around that community outreach or kind of bringing that together. And just because, again, like your podcast does, or like Power of She does, it's bringing people together that kind of like similar things. But just like support in your community.
That's really awesome. I love that.
There are a lot of small business owners, right? Water Street, there's nothing that's
Yeah, so Excelsior does not
commercial.
allow any chains. So that's what I love about it. It was kind of weird that we got Subway, but I get it. Subway is a
how do the
franchise.
Subways always get in?
Well,
right?
because, I'm sure the owner's a local franchise guy.
Yeah.
But, like, that's the only thing that's even, like, name brand on the street.
Yeah.
Everything is one-offs, and, like, that's what everybody loves about it.
Yeah, and then it's unique.
Yeah.
So everything has its quirky little style. Mm-hmm. It's wonderful.
It sure does.
Okay, so I have to ask. Tell us what it looks like working with 9 women, because this seems just completely fascinating. And how do you delegate, take on roles within the group? I know that you mentioned there's different shares, so that helps you. So we would just love to hear more about how that actually works, the dynamic of it.
Yeah. So we, and it really hasn't been a problem yet. Can we knock on some wood here?
Right,
Yeah.
we'll find
No,
some.
it's been great. We will, we'll bring up ideas. We'll bring up any issues that we have, things that what are our priorities for the week or the month. And then we've kind of just assigned or taken, we've kind of fallen into roles based on our experience and, our background, our expertise. And then, like I said before, we just kind of lean on, we're not all usually voting on certain things. All of these women too, they raise their hand to do this because of their passion for the project, right? There's not really any of them are like, oh, I'm going to do this and be like a silent owner. I don't want any involvement. I want, and none of them are really controlling and like, we have to do it like this. And this is how I think we need to do it. Again, like I said before, they're all kind of leaning on each other. Pretty much every one of them I have even heard say wants to learn from the other business owners. So they're here to kind of learn something from someone else. So that's allowed it to be a little bit more of a collaborative.
What does the logistics look like? Do you guys all jump on jump on a Zoom like once a week? Do you have like a group chat? Like what do the logistics look like? That just like popped in my head.
So that is a great question, because that we've probably talked about how do we want to communicate?
Yeah.
A dozen times.
Well, and because everybody's communication style is so different.
Yes. And we haven't really fallen into one that everybody loves, because yes, some like text, some like email, some like a Facebook group, but we do a Zoom call every month.
Okay.
So that is our good like landing spot. So that's where we can all get all of our thoughts together, make our decisions, prioritize what we need to do. We do a lot of, we have our email chain, and then we use Slack.
We started using Slack, and now
Slack is a game changer.
We love that like all the info is contained in one spot, and you're not like, what text thread was that on? And
it is pretty great because email chains can get ugly.
Yeah.
And email folders, whatnot. Not everybody loves it because it's another app that you have to go into.
It's a little bit of a learning curve, but
and it's not always available on, if you have a restrictive corporate laptop or computer, you can't do Slack.
We're all self-employed over here.
So it would have to be like on your phone or something.
Yeah.
But those women are okay with just doing the Slack in the evening or on their off hours, and they're, this is more of a side thing for them. So that has been really good.
Yeah.
But other than that, Zoom, we have some text strings, and then just, kind of one-offs. Like we know who we need to go to for, if we have a question on like, we need the gardener, what's the gardener doing? And we need to get that done, or we need to do like fall cleanup, or we need to, where are the cleaners? And we kind of have our point people now.
You would almost have to, otherwise it would be a complete shit show.
No, and I don't want to ask all 9 women a question if 5 of them they don't even know what I'm talking about, and they don't need to know, and they don't want to know, and they're doing something else.
Right.
Because when I have a question that I need them to answer, I want them to answer.
Yeah.
So I really try to just communicate with the ones we're on a need to know basis. Yeah. Right. Except for the monthly meetings.
That's really cool. Mm-hmm. Have you guys ever had any problems arise? Or like if a problem arises, is there like a method of resolution?
Oh, good question. If we had a problem, so you're going to dig up some dirt, aren't you? I can't really think of something that we've had, except for the communication where we've just had so kind of funny. We sent out a text or maybe it was an email. Like now I can't even remember. How would everybody like to communicate, right? Yeah. Would you like text, or would you like email, or would you like Slack? Like vote.
And then whoever was on the wrong thing didn't even vote because they didn't even know.
It was so funny. It was such a funny exercise. Like this should be part of like a little TV show, right? Where it's like, these ones replied right away. This is what I want. Those ones replied like later in the day. Some replied like 2 days later.
Yeah.
And they were like, if it's in an emergency, you should text me. If it's not, and it was like 2 days later. And now she's going to listen and she's going to hear this and it's going to be fine. But that was kind of funny, right? We all had a chuckle about that. It's like, how would you like to communicate? But we know how to get a hold of everybody. Like I said, we all knew each other before this.
Like we're grown-ups. We can figure this out.
So it's kind of, we already were able to build rapport with each other. So it's been pretty great.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So you've spoken so much about the B&B, which is incredible, but we chatted a little bit before you came in here about your business ventures too. So I would love to have you back on a future date to chat a little bit more into where you're coming from specifically. But aside from that, what would you say to a woman who's dreaming really big and would love to do something like this or tackle something really big? Where would she begin? She's just scared.
Okay, that is a really good question. Just start. Do something is, I think, my biggest advice. Take a step and then ask for advice. If you don't know what the next step should be, just ask. Or honestly, just think it through. You know what the next step is. You might be scared about the next step or scared that you don't know what's next. But that's okay, right? It's okay to just, and then weigh your options, but not too much. Don't overanalyze, because women love to overthink things.
We're pros at that, yes.
Yeah, I would say really lean into somebody that's either done it before or somebody that you think would that knows a little bit more maybe about what you're about to do. And then just take one step at a time. You do not have to know the whole thing. You do not have to know step 5, step 6. There's a Disney movie about that. You only have to know the next step. Do you know what movie that is?
No. What movie is that?
Is your
You
daughter
should
too
know.
young for this?
I think so.
It's Frozen 2.
Oh,
You
Ryan,
only
he
have
knows.
to know
Ryan's listening and he
the
knows.
next, the next step. Yeah. I think
So
that's
interesting
Okay, I
because
watched Frozen too.
we are doing batch recording today.
Oh.
And the first episode that I had was all about getting into real estate investing with like multi-units. And he said, Connor Hesh said the same exact thing. It's
No
like,
way.
you don't need to know every single, like you
You
just
don't.
like jump in and then you're going to find that person that's going to fix your flips. It's the same exact advice. It's so cool that we're hearing this
Like,
twice
trust
today.
in the
has
process.
amazing advice.
He has amazing advice.
And very rare that we have a male on the podcast.
I
that
know,
way, too,
it is
which
true.
Very rare. Yeah.
Well, good thing he had good things to say.
Right.
Because maybe then he'll be asked back. Yeah.
Well, I love it. We're just like really like I'm super like just thankful for like all the things you guys are doing in our community.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited to see like where the guest house is going to go in the future.
Me too.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Yeah.
So tell everyone where they can find you and the guest house.
Okay. So the guest house they can find on Facebook, Instagram, and online at The Guest House MN. So it's theguesthousemn.com, but Facebook and Instagram is The Guest House MN. And I'm Jennifer Dierkhising. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Great.
Yay.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for being here, Jennifer.
Thank you, ladies.
So remember, until next time, to keep your face off a bus bench and keep being the badass boss babe that you are. Okay, girls, are you feeling as inspired as we are? We're over here cheering you on because you just finished another episode of the Girl, Get Your Face Off a Bus Bench podcast.
If you want more, head over to girlgetyourfaceoffabusbench.com for show notes and more episodes. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. They mean the world to us and they're what keep us going.
Girl, thanks for being here.